Hey guys, welcome to another video by KSC Academy. My name is Lewis and today I want to talk to you about 5 tools that you can use to improve your writing. And some of them are dictionaries, some of them are translators, and then we're going to see a cool tool that you can use to self-correct your own writing tasks. Alright, this is going to be a very quick video. It's quite improvised, but I think it's going to be useful for you guys. So let's get started. Let's see. So the first one is actually called Lexico, lexico.com. Okay, that's one of my favorite websites for one of my favorite dictionaries, basically. In the past, it used to be oxforddictionaries.com, as it belongs to the Oxford Dictionary, but recently they renamed it to Lexico. And this is the most complete dictionary that I've come across, and the definitions are quite clear, and they provide plenty of examples and so on. All right, so if we look for a word like respect, let's see, you get the type of word it is, okay, the part of speech. So this is a noun, but you'll also get the other meanings as a verb, for instance, and then you have some phrases there. And another cool thing is that for most of the words you get the origin, so it says late Middle English from Latin respectus, etc., etc. And then you have the different meanings, okay, there. Okay, so inside the noun you have the first one, the second, the third, and then the different sub-meanings within these numbers, okay, 1.1, 1.2, etc. And you also get information like whether it is a mass noun, that means uncountable, whether you normally use it as a plural form, like a person's polite greetings, give my respects to their excellencies, whether it's informal usage, and maybe you should restrict that to informal contexts, whether it goes with an object as well. So it's a great dictionary. And then some phrases like with all due respect, in respect of that, in respect of. So yeah, I love this dictionary, but I would recommend it specifically for students who are maybe at a B2, C1 level upwards. All right. Otherwise, if you're at a B1 level, you're probably not going to benefit much from these things and from this kind of dictionary. In that case, if you're at a B1 level or even lower, you could use the Dictionary of Cambridge, okay, the Cambridge Dictionary, which is dictionary.cambridge.org. In this case, you just come here, same thing, you type in respect, for example, and you get some definitions, not as complete as the Oxford Dictionary, but a bit clearer and easier to understand as well. And this is very interesting, for many words, they actually tell you at which level you should be able to understand and be able to use this word. For example, as polite behavior to someone, that's a B1 meaning. So yeah, in this case, all of them are B1. And then you can also choose different languages to translate it to. And you can find the translations a bit further down, like here, okay, admiration, good opinion, respeto. He's held in great respect by everyone. He has no respect for politicians, etc., etc. Yeah, so that's a dictionary, not as complete as Lexico, but also very useful for students, especially at lower levels. Then sometimes we need a translator, all right, something that tells us exactly the meaning or the possible meanings of one of the words. And I love wordreference.com. Okay, much better than Google Translate. Okay, Google Translate is quite good and it's improving every day, but word reference still is much better. But you can't translate sentences, all right? You can't just type in or paste in a text. Word reference is only for very short phrases or words. So for example, if we type in again respect, well, you get, I don't know if you saw that, but you get a lot of suggestions, respect, and you get respect, respectful, respectively. So that's great, actually, especially for use of English. I hadn't noticed that earlier, but it's great. And then you get all the possible translations depending on the meaning that we're referring to in English. For example, if we're talking about respect as esteem or admiration, in Spanish it would be respeto, estima. If it's as in consideration, consideración, respeto, and then you have some examples there. Okay, he worked hard to gain the respect of his co-workers, or, and then the Spanish translation, or out of respect for his desires, I won't go to the party. En consideración a sus deseos, no asistiré a la fiesta. And you have all of these languages available. Okay, all of these and more. Okay, all of these actually. So that's just fantastic, as you will probably find your language within this list. And then the next tool is also some sort of dictionary, okay, but it's a collocations dictionary. In case you don't know, when we talk about collocations, we're referring to a combination of words or that usually work together, all right? And you'll understand this better with an example. So for instance, if we type in the word respect again, we can see what the most common combinations or which words usually collocate or combine with respect. So when we're talking about respect as admiration, or using respect as the synonym of admiration, we can see some adjectives that collocate with respect. So we can say considerable respect, deep respect, great respect, grudging respect, or mutual respect. And then you have an example there with one of the combinations. If we want a combination with the verb, we can say feel respect, have respect, hold somebody in respect, like she held him in considerable respect. With preposition, what preposition do we use with respect? Okay, this is typical. A typical question, the prepositions thing. He felt a grudging respect for her talents as an organizer. You see, he felt a grudging respect, which is one of the collocations suggested there, for somebody. And all of these combinations. So when you're writing, sometimes you tend to use very simple words like good or thing or bad or simple, things like that. So it's this tool just helps you to find better synonyms, and also idiomatic, which means that they are combinations of words that native speakers use, right? So your writing is going to sound more authentic, and obviously everything that you learn for your writing you can also apply to your speaking and to your comprehension and reading and so on, right? And the following tool is quite similar, but in this case we're studying the frequency of such combinations. So OSDIC gives you a number of combinations, and just the word not only gives you, not only does it give you this a list of combinations, but also the frequency. So for example, again, let's try the word respect. We enter the word respect and we see, okay, respect as a verb goes with, for example, respect decision, respect opinion, respect view, and you have these green bars which let you know in some way how often these combinations occur. And you see that these are linked to some pages. So if we click on respect wish, you get a bunch of sentences where you have those two words working together. We are only too pleased to respect such wishes whenever possible. Or the US and British refusal to respect the wishes of the Arab people. Okay, so you see these two words working together, not necessarily immediately together, but in the same sentence. And we can go back and we can see For example, if you're looking for prepositions, which in the Austic dictionary you could see there, or here as well, in justtheword.com, you can see the list on the right, and you can see the word respect plus whatever. Okay, in this case, respect plus a preposition, respect plus an adverb before respect. And if you click there, it will take you straight to the section that contains that information. Respect for, respect by, respect as. So let's click, for example, on respect for, which is one of the combinations we've seen earlier on. And you have all of these sentences to get a context and to better understand how these two words work together. All right. So yeah, I think Just the Word is also great. And then we have Grammarly. Okay, Grammarly.com, and this is probably one of the most interesting in this list. Although, as I say, all of them are super useful. But yeah, Grammarly is basically an application that allows you to introduce a chunk of text, let's say an essay or some review or something like that. And the cool thing is that it corrects, or it suggests some corrections that can be made to this text. Obviously, these corrections are at a grammatical, spelling, and semantic level. Okay, Grammarly is not going to suggest any corrections to the structure of your own text, but it will highlight the most obvious mistakes that you're having. Maybe a combination of words that is not appropriately used, or maybe some typo or things like that. Right? So I've pasted here an essay that a student wrote a while back, and it's automatically highlighted 4 mistakes that are probably quite silly. For example, nowadays, you can see the mistakes here and in the text, and it says obviously that nowadays it's missing an A. So you just click there, and it's automatically corrected. All right? Then let's go on to the next one. Finally, the University of Harvard in Boston has made an study. Ugh, bad mistake. So yeah, obviously it's not an study, it's a study. Great. Finally, I think that the houseworking should be partitioned equally. The houseworking, no. In this case, we're talking about the housework, so you can correct that. And finally, both teenagers and parents have obligations to be fulfilled. Well, this is a very typical spelling mistake, because when we say fulfill, we drop the first L of the word full, right? So we just do that. So this is a great way of helping your teacher, basically, and doing it in a way that you can learn from your own mistakes, right? So you, before handing your essays, for instance, to your teachers, you can just paste the text here and at least correct the most obvious mistakes, all right? So your teacher will obviously give you feedback on the way your sentences are constructed, on other words that you could use to improve your vocabulary, on some structures, on the use of connectors, and so many different things. But if you use Grammarly, probably your spelling is going to be impeccable, okay? And that can help you, obviously, to get a better mark, if this is something for high school or college or something like that, but also to learn, okay? And I think that's the most important thing that you can achieve with this application, is to learn from your own mistakes, right? So if you've pasted this in and it turns out that it's fulfilled with 1 L at the end of full, just try to assimilate that, try to write that down if it's something that you hadn't expected and that you find surprising, and try to learn from your mistake so as to avoid doing that in the future again. All right, so that's the end of this video. I think these applications and these platforms can really help you improve your English and your writing in particular. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until the next video, don't forget to keep smiling. Bye-bye.